Hello everyone, today I'm here to talk to you about Curators, which is a fun little tile placement sort of game. So it's kind of got multiple aspects to this game, which is something I really like about it. You've got the tile laying, which is cool, and then you kind of got some kind of set collection and objectives to score. But the interesting crux of this comes from how you actually trigger actions. You've got these 5 double-sided tokens, okay? And on your turn, you're going to choose to perform one action. You can double up actions if more than one of those tokens is showing the same action symbol, but that doesn't happen too often, but it is good when it does. So, say you have an archaeologist's hat face up on one of these tokens. You can flip that token to go out like Indiana Jones style and get an object, and that goes in your storeroom for your museum, and then one goes of the same type onto the market, which is quite important for being able to get lots of them at the end of the game. So you've done that, and then you turn that token over and it's going to show a different symbol. Now that means that you have to line your turns up really nicely, because when I'm turning that token over, I'm not going to be able to do that action until I've turned it back. It might be on one of your other tokens, which means you can maybe do a double turn by turning 2 tokens over at once. Again, like I said, it doesn't happen too often, but you can line yourself up nicely to sort of do this one action, and then a double action, and then you're sort of going back through them and sort of trying to do little loops and combos. It's interesting because you need to work out, I need this item in this object in my inventory, but then I need the room to place it, so I need to build the room, and then the rooms scoring for objective cards. So it's a really nice game where you're constantly thinking, I want to do this, I want to go and grab that object, I want to buy that object, I want to build a place, a room to put the object in, then I'm going to be getting visitors, and then every now and again you need some visitors, because then you can play like the banker or the financial person, and that gives you money per visitors. So there's lots of little loops and chains where you need to do one thing. To do that well, you needed to have done another thing. And there's quite an interesting swirl of these tiles that you're placing in as rooms. It means a little bit like patchwork. You can well, kind of like patchwork. In patchwork, you can only ever go so many round sort of all of the available tiles. In Curators, you can go as far as you can afford. So the next tile on is always free. But then it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Now how much is that perfect tile worth it to you? And how much can you afford? At the start of the game, you've got very limited money. By the end of the game, you've got more visitors, so you're getting that money coming in a little bit easier. But money is also victory points, so you trade it in at like 4,000 to 1 victory point at the end. Everything's thousands, it's not a crazy amount. So you're then trading money for the potential of more points, but you kind of need to sort of get that system up and running. At the start of the game, you are taking quite small turns. You are doing one thing. If you're going to the auction, you're probably only buying one thing for a cheap amount. By the end of the game, you might go to the auction house and buy 3 blue objects because you need them to fill your blue rooms for scoring objectives. And you can do that because you've got the money, you've built up those visitors, you've triggered the financial person, and you're rolling in money, and you've got loads of choice. So the game kind of, as the game goes on, it kind of grows with you. You start off as a small business, a small museum with not much foot traffic and everything, and by the end you've got loads of foot traffic in terms of visitors, loads of money, and you can do bigger, more fun turns. Also, by the end of the game, you've worked out how to nicely combo your tokens, your action tokens together. So you can be like, right, if I do this once, I can then do these twice, and that unlocks this. So it grows with you throughout the game. It means, certainly on that first play, everyone's doing small, not too impactful turns at the beginning, and by the end, you've got really big, fun turns to do. It doesn't outstay its welcome because you remove some tiles depending on the player count, but you still feel like you've built quite a sizable chunk of museum and had the opportunity to score multiple patterns of completed room object combos. It's been fun. I'm glad it's hit the table. Will it keep going? Well, I think certainly because of that way the action works, it will keep being interesting. There are some advanced rule cards. Now, if you are a gamer, just include them from the start. They are nice little additions that just adds that maybe one slightly different way of scoring. There's like 3, maybe 4 of those cards in the box. They really could have done much more with that deck. It could have been like a bigger deck, but there is a slight addition there for sort of advanced play. If you're doing a family game, don't include them. But to be honest, the weight that the game is, if you're comfortable playing it, then the advanced rules don't really add much more. If you're teaching it to someone new, it's that one less thing to teach for them to worry about, and then in future games you're just going to include it. It's just one extra way to score points. And points mean prizes for everyone, and more ways to score points makes everyone feel that little bit better. Anyway, that is Curators. Let me know in the comment section below if you have tried it, and until next time, I'm Oliver East, signing out.